We got ourselves another special Halo Wars 2 match that we got going on here. I am playing as Shipmaster. I have a cutter. I have a cutter on my side. Yellow is cutter as well, and red is forge. And so, first thing I decided to do, with of course permission from my teammate, was to go ahead and grab his mini and open up with double supply. And then I'll get a gen with another supply and then another gen. The build order that I want to go with is to focus more on ghosts, mainly because we're going to be dealing with infantry, and I could get suicide grunts and whatnot. That would be pretty helpful to get, but my thought process is like something and someone needs to handle the forge, and the decimus that we have will help towards that. But ghosts can also do just a lot more movability and whatnot associated with it, and I'm Shipmaster, so you get the extra vision associated with it too. And so we're starting off hot right away. Orange is trying to go ahead and pressure this mini base that's over here at mid to the best of their ability, and technically at a disadvantage, but able to bring in the sentinels to go ahead and help, as well as just keep producing infantry with the grunts. And he's holding off that fight relatively well. So meanwhile, my economy is still going pretty well, getting that gen. And I noticed, because of the fact that Orange sent so many Marines over there, I actually decided to go ahead and see if I can go ahead and grab that power. And first ghost is in production. I could have waited a little bit longer to go ahead and upgrade that gen and then do that, but honestly, any extra power, any extra units I can get out right away, my thought process is it would be better for me. So upgraded that gen, double producing ghost, and look at that, that power was not taken at all. Orange really committed to try and take that mini base, and blue held it off really well. Like, shout out to blue in that regards. That's not an easy situation to overcome, and they were able to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and send my ghost to go ahead and start the scout, and this ghost as well is going to be planned to scout the other enemy as well for red to see what they end up doing. And so ghost is going to be out, and we're going to go ahead and send them all the way through using the right trigger and the X command, so we can have queued commands. And so orange just shows that they're going econ specifically, nothing really too serious. And orange also has that mini base, and mini base is also economy, so nothing is really too serious. I was going to go ahead and try and engage on those Marines, but those double Marines that showed up is not really a good situation for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and send them out to go ahead and heal and just keep reducing the ghosts as a whole. And light blue was able to deny a good scout, and there goes red. Red made a turret as well as a hero, an armory. So we know the forge hog is going to end up coming out. So I decided, you know what, this is my time to go ahead and try and grab this second base then. Orange win economy, yellow just showed up with a bunch of infantry, and so this is already a big problem. Yellow has a turret on their base, but armory is there and a bunch of infantry is there, and now the forge hog has shown up as well. I don't really have ghost shielding yet, so I can't really take the engagement that I want in association with this. So I'm just trying to get as much chip damage as possible on my side, and then start falling back. It's unfortunate because blue ends up collapsing on his side. He did make a raid camp to go ahead and start making suicide grunts, which is an excellent play. Like, this person's trying to make the most out of the situation, but I can't really engage until the shields are ready to go. So I have to separate my grunts. There goes orange's Marines. I have to self-destruct the base. There's no way I'm going to be able to get both. Suicide grunts pop up, and they're going to be doing excellent damage against all those Marines that you see over there. And we're going to go ahead and try and send our grunts to go ahead and help deal with the situation, but unfortunately that's not really the case. And so we're going to start engaging some of the Marines that we see over here by orange, and a great Y move happens by forge. That's my cue to go ahead and fall back, because mines happen as well. So I used my other grunt to go ahead and take that through. Decimus pulls that in, which is going to be very great. Y move goes down on him, which is very cool. And now the rams are going on the forge hog. Hopefully we'll be able to take it out. That forge hog is hurting really badly, but that heavy metal is saving him relatively well. But the chase is going to continue, because great body blocking by the grunts, and because of that we were able to kill that forge hog. And now we have those Marines that we're going to have to deal with as well. And so bunch of Y moves are coming out from the grenades. It's causing a lot of damage and problems for me, but we're here to still try and focus down on the Spartan that is here. The Decimus is starting to hurt just a little bit. Great Y move is going down, and we're doing some slams onto the Spartan, and the enemy Spartan ends up getting removed. But now Orange has shown up as well with his Marines. And now we just got to try and find a way to just fall back. The Decimus is not falling back. He's about to die. I'm trying to get some rams. Great Y move that stunned so much to allow the Ghost to go ahead and keep doing the cover fire that it needs. Decimus is trying to fall back, and all of a sudden Decimus is heading right back into the fire. So I'm just trying to stall to the best of my ability. Spartan Slam comes in. I'm going in with some rams as well on the Spartan, and so we're still trying to focus down on the Spartan as well. We've killed 2 heroes so far, and our hero is still alive. And the Decimus is just running for his life. We got more rams coming in, and then all of a sudden the Decimus comes back to try and pull the Spartan, but unfortunately the ODSTs end up dropping on him, and the rest is history. And so great suicide grunts that end up coming down. I'm going to go ahead and just try and stack the remaining of my ghosts to kill this remaining Spartan associated with it, and there we go. So at least we killed 3 heroes, but the downside is that we're hurting very badly in regards to our economy. Light Blue has 2 bases, which that is excellent. But myself and Light Blue are on 1 base, and so my thought process is simple. I have a lot of power in my hand right now. I'm going to go ahead and try and go to Tech 3, go double Foundry, and just try to be as efficient as possible. I have the movement buff from the raid ability for Shipmaster, and so my goal is to just try and dish out as much efficiency that I can possibly do. And so there we go. Tech 3 ends up being upgraded. We're going to use our Ghost to try and stop the Scout from happening, because Red wants to know if Decimus is going to go air or not, and I don't think Decimus does go air because of the fact that he's on 1 base. And so Shield Gen's going to go up just for defensive measures. We're going to go ahead and get Cleansing Beam as well. We are hurting in the power department. We're trying to go ahead and capture this node. Mines end up going down, which is quite unfortunate, so I have to go ahead and try and clear all that up. But the Decimus said, you know what, I'll go ahead and swallow it up. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's one way to go about it. So I already started making Reavers, and there you go. Red has already shown up. And I could have capped that. I could have stayed and capped it for a little bit longer, but unfortunately I decided to fall back. Decimus is falling back as well. We're bringing our Ghost over to the side. And now we just got Tech 3. So now this is where the production of Wraiths are going to start showing up, right? Yellow is infantry with Cutter, and orange is Cutter as well. So I'm betting on the fact that they're not going to go and counter me too hard. And so the Forge ends up getting pulled in. Y move ends up going down. Heavy Metal ends up getting called, but the stun is happening. Vortex Lightning is going down. Rain of Fire is going down. Cleansing Beam is also going down. We killed the Warhog, but we're still trying to kill the Forge Hog. Will we be able to kill it? He pulls it in. It's about to die, but unfortunately the ODST drops come in, and we unfortunately lost our Decimus once again, but they lost their hero as well, so it's not all that bad. Actually, there's the Decimus right there. He's still alive, and not anymore. Okay, he got very close. And so orange is actually choosing to take my expansion base, which honestly, that's kind of impressively bad to do against me, because I don't like it when people try to take my bases when they have their own second base that they need to expand. It's one thing if it's like, okay, you have a huge lead, go ahead and take it, but they don't have a huge lead. Look at the army comp that orange has. That comp is just infantry. There's a Cyclop drop, totally fine. He has a Spartan, but it's nothing that's honestly scary towards me. Like, I feel like if I make enough units and I stay efficient, I'll be fine. I mean, look at the Wraith. The Wraith was able to fall back, and I'm already starting to produce a Locust, and this Locust is going to go ahead and just be on hold position on that high ground to go ahead and take that base. This is why I think this was a very poor move by orange as a whole. If you're going to do this, you got to make sure you're really ahead and you have a good army to defend this. And dark blue is going to take that engagement on orange over there, and orange is by himself currently, which is not a good thing for him. And now the Wraiths are coming in as well, and because he's bunched up very well, those Wraiths is just going to do a lot of damage over here. And so we just reset orange entirely. Red is trying to come in with some Warhogs now and some Nightingales. Y move gets called in by the Forge Hog, but look at the micro that's happening with the Wraiths. We did end up losing one Wraith there, but the Wraiths are still doing spectacularly well. We killed the Spartan on that side, and now we're just going to go ahead and start pushing this left-hand side. Now, look at that. There's a Kodiak being made on this left-hand side. I figured he was going to go ahead and try and get siege, which is why I got that one single Locust just to get ahead of the game. And so he doesn't have that vision that he needs, and I'm going to now work on getting Spirit support instead of displacement. My thought process was, Because of the fact that Orange lost a lot of his army and got reset in this regards, I am ahead on this side, and any additional units I'm going to be able to drop down that has veterancy, that means it's harder to kill, and I can also spend more power on the upgrades instead of double producing from the foundries. So we're making a ghost to go ahead and try and capture that node. Things are looking relatively well. Unfortunately, blue does lose his whole army at mid, but we are able to kill Orange's base over here. And so that's a pretty big play. I end up undoing the build for the Wraith because now we want to get that Spirit Assault drop. And because we kind of won our lane now on our side, it's all about trying to build momentum from here on out. And so the Spirit Support drop comes in. This is going to be nice because it's going to give us some veteran 2 hunters as well as some elite rangers. And yes, we don't have the infantry upgrade, but I still think we're going to be in a relatively good spot. And so Vortex comes down, which is a very good Vortex. It actually separates the army relatively well from me. Y-Move gets popped for the engineer. And now Heavy Metal gets called too, so I'm going to go ahead and start falling back as Scatter Bomb ends up going down, and I don't really want to lose any more units than what I should. And here comes Orange on the side trying to get that second base at mines as well that he just recently gave up. And this is a comp that I can easily beat. It is a level 2 Cyclops, but this is nothing that's going to be too problematic for me. I do have elite rangers, I do have some Reavers to go ahead and deal with the anti-air, and then we obviously have the vet engineers to keep the heal production going. And so light blue still is on one base, but now light blue and dark blue are going to be helping each other out on that lane while I go ahead and try and reset Orange once again. I still think this is the weakest side of the lane, and look at that, keeping a Wraith barely alive. And this was a huge mistake by Orange. Orange is just sitting there. There's a cleansing beam going on. There's one Nightingale. There's two Nightingales. There's some air. Pretty much everything gets killed over here. He was not paying attention. He missed the Spartan to be able to hijack, or maybe never even got that upgrade. And all of a sudden, we have just reset Orange as a whole. This is my cue to go ahead and start pushing. We're going to leave a Wraith here to try to take this base because we are hurting in the supply economy as we speak. But now we're going to go ahead and try and get this pressure that we need. Sniper is being made, but honestly, it is not looking good for Orange as we speak. And so if you look at the mini map, there's also a very huge fight that's still happening on the right hand side between light blue and dark blue engaging red and yellow, and all of a sudden they disappear from the mini-map. So that's my cue that I won't be able to stay here much longer. So ODST drop does come down. I'm going to micro the engineer to try to keep that bad boy alive, and now we're going to go ahead and just start falling back as a whole. We haven't seen anyone show up yet, and my alarm is coming off. And speaking of alarm, there they are. There's yellow and there's red, and so we're going for a full-scale retreat. And red has shown up to trying to assist Orange, and it's not really an unfortunate thing. It's just a very good move for me to just be able to fall back for now. We did lose our engineers, which is unfortunate. We don't have those heals anymore. So we're just going to have to play patient and wait for our next opportunity. As long as we see red leave his map, that's my cue to go ahead and keep pushing Orange, because I still think I could beat Orange on a 1v1 right now. And there goes those Reavers resetting everything he has. Orange is sending his army to mid to try and support his teammates. And this gave me a perfect opportunity to just come in and just focus in on the base on this side. There goes a Nightingale, end up getting destroyed. Spirit support is going to get dropped in once again. We're practically at max pop. We're also upgrading our Shipmaster, so then when we bring him out on the field, he's going to be able to do more. We got displacement out as well, and there you go. You see yellow already starting to fall back. You see orange trying to fall back as well, and I was able to take that base, which was very good. Now that we have orange on one base, this is my cue to go ahead and try and keep this pressure going. And even though the heroes are in trouble over here on this side, I was thinking about doing a displacement, but I said, you know what, let me hold on to it and save it for when we really need it. I did get some power from my teammate, which is actually pretty helpful in that regards, but I did not use my displacement. I saw the Pavium was there. I don't think it was worth using just to save a Pavium. And so now I'm moving on to my next target, which is to go ahead and focus on orange. I'm going to get that Wraith upgrade ability. And a huge cutter drop ends up coming down. Y move gets popped by the engineer to get that damage reduction in. And then all of a sudden you get yourself another call that ends up happening. Close air support, ODST drops. They're just dropping everything on me. Cyclops drops. It's just all here. So we're going for a full scale, retreat. Orange shifts over to my base, which is really nice. I'm going to end up needing that support just because they dropped everything on my side. And so now I'm just sitting at the top. I'm in this weird position, and then all of a sudden red has shown up on this left hand side with a relatively good army. I can't really do anything about it because of that close air support, and I'm on the high ground, so things aren't looking too hot. Now all of a sudden yellow has shown up as well, and this is my cue to use that displacement to get yellow out. Fortunately, my teammate was able to send me the resources that I needed in order for me to get that displacement out. And now we pushed yellow back because of the displacement. Now red's in a corner, which is really nice, and now we can continue what we've been doing this whole time, which is just killing units, stopping the second expansion, or should I say like the third expansion at the time, and just try and win this side of the lane once and for all. And so we're still looking very good on the population side. Shipmaster is finally going to start getting involved. We're able to kill this base. Yellow has shown up once again, and now the Y move is going to be used for the rates. And we're going to start falling back because this is not good for us. And then an excellent Y move happened by the Decimus, practically catching all the infantry together. And they got stuck with the Y move by my rates. And look at that. That was just a pure army wipe that ended up going down in general against yellow. And our army comp is still looking very strong. We still have a lot of units. And we're pretty much killing everything here. Shipmaster is now out, ready to go ahead and do as much damage as possible. Red is still trying to streamline any reinforcements as possible, but his air just keeps getting taken out by me. Pavium's ability ends up getting dropped in as well to go ahead and start spawning units, as well as just to have that constant pressure that it needs. Cleansing beam is going to start going down. I want to go ahead and target down the Nightingales, get rid of the heals as much as possible, and boom, we got rid of the Nightingale. We're also going to shift downwards to try and push their army down as much as possible, and that seemed to work out really, really well. At this point, it's time to just focus down on the base and see what we can get rid of. We're trying to get our second base finally up and established at the 17-minute mark. But this is just a good example of just good micro and just great decision making as a whole, keeping an army alive and just being as efficient as possible. And there you go. Orange ends up getting eliminated. Now there's only two left, which is yellow and red. Red has fallen back, and yellow is going to go ahead and try and stabilize their defenses since they know we're going to be heading over there. That is my presumption. And things are just looking a little bit better for us as a whole. Decimus stayed as vehicles, and Decimus, shout out to Decimus, all three levels. Mid-game, early game, transition to early mid-game. Decimus made some moves. Same thing with Pavium. Pavium won incredibly early against Orange. And we've just been able to capitalize off this situation. Vortex Lightning ends up going down on all those infantry, which is pretty good. And Tactical Gateway gets upgraded. Not sure if it's going to be used or not. And there goes the ODST drop that's happening. In fact, all our stuff is bunched up really well. If they did an ODST drop with the scatter bomb, it definitely could have been done. Been dealt a lot of damage in association with it, but yellow pretty much lost this whole army, and now we're going to go ahead and focus down on the base. This game is practically over now, and we went from a situation where light blue had no base, had no second base. I couldn't get a second base until like the 15-minute mark, but man, the engagements that we took and the efficiency that was there, I can't wait to see that after this game. That's what really just helped seal the deal for us. And so there you have it. Yellow's base is now gone. Red's going to try and go ahead and get this engagement. But I have a spirit support drop already here. Bunch of units just getting wiped out by red. And all of a sudden you see all these Kodiaks here that are just bombarding blue. And I don't know what was going on there, but I was like, oh, okay. This is my cue to go ahead and not be involved in that. So let's go ahead and rendezvous over at mid to see if we can hit red's base at the bottom. And there you have it. Look at all those Kodiaks there. That's a whole lot of Kodiak. And there you go. You have a Spartan Slam. You have ODST drop, or at least I think a Spartan Slam. It wasn't a Spartan Slam. We're still going to go ahead and focus on our economy because, you know, let's keep teaching good habits for ourselves. And we're coming in. Decimus is taking a lot of damage. That Forge Hog was pulled up at the top. And look at this engagement that's happening. The Forge Hog will go down. Will the Decimus still survive? I would think so, but he's getting bombarded with everything in regards to all those 5 Kodiaks that was still alive. And now red decided to self-destruct this base. Pavium came in and snuck around to drop down its mines to clear out the Kodiaks. And there you have it. This game ends up coming to a close. all in all, this was just a great game where it's just like patience is key and trying to understand the situation as a whole. I mean, if you look at this game, I went 29 units lost to 109 units killed. Pavium went 70 for 110, and even Decimus went 26 for 34. This is what you call great efficiency across the board, and just great unit comp and great decision making. There was situations where I could have been slammed and lost everything when I was trying to push orange base, but I was able to fall back. That was a very great decision there. And our ability to just reset army comps over and over again just really helped us out to help establish the lead that we needed in order to win the game. And so with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this one. This one was another cool one to go ahead and commentate as well. Hope you've been enjoying the commentary videos as a whole. I've been trying to do a little bit more now with the spare time that I have. I'm trying to still figure out the best schedule as possible. So there's a little YouTube update. But with that being said, you have a good one. You have a splendid one. Keep being awesome. Until next time, G out.